Many involved in the Australian wine industry have had good cause lately to reach for a stiff drink. It's not just that they're sitting on warehouses full of the stuff. Oversupply has slashed prices to the point where an industry report recommends pulling out 1 in 5 grapevines. Yet, for all that, it was hard to detect heartburn among smaller producers who gathered recently at Stanthorpe to show off their latest offerings.
This is the 39th year the granite belt town of Stanthorpe has hosted the Australian Small Wine Producers Show. It's a major event on the national wine show circuit now, but it had very humble beginnings.
We started as a local show where we had 3 judges and they all shared the same glass to judge from.
Ian Henderson's the chief steward. Working behind the Hessian, he and his team of stewards worked their logistical magic for the judges on the other side.
There's nearly 8,000 bottles of wine to be opened and poured. 1,800 wines by 21 judges is a glass of wine to be poured every 6 seconds for 4 days, and we have to be absolutely sure it went into the right glass at the right time. We do double blind tasting, so the judges, all they see is a glass of wine with a number on it. They don't know the maker, the manufacturer, the region, nothing. If it's a good wine in that glass at that time, it'll win a prize, not influenced by label, brand or producer.
There are nearly 60 wine shows held in Australia every year. Ian Henderson says this is one of the most important held outside a capital city.
We offer the premier forum for winemakers who do less than 500 tonne to enter their wines and be judged against their peers. Wineries who do more than 500 tonne, which is the big wineries in Australia, aren't allowed to enter. So these are small guys who love their wine, know their craft, typically grow the grapes themselves and make it themselves, get to see who's the best.
90% of Australia's wineries crush less than 500 tonnes.
To fight amongst guys with the same capacity is always good, yeah. You're not drowned out by these big volumes because I believe that, small parcels of fruit make better quality wine and a lot of the small wineries do that, make better quality wine.
The big wine companies are still involved though. They send the judges.
We go looking for the best judges that we can find from the most respected wine companies that we can find. We need judges to judge at a national level.
The judges aren't here to go easy on the little guys either.
Is a gold medal here then still worth the same as if you won a gold medal competing against the big guys?
Absolutely. This small wine show here is quality judged, and the medals here stand alone anywhere. We're certainly not giving gold medals away for the sake of giving gold medals. We're giving awards based on absolute quality.
The chief judge says the small players are worth watching, for they're often the innovators and trendsetters.
The small winemakers have got small batches and they can fiddle with them and they can try different things, where the big wineries only got big tanks and they're not going to have anything go wrong, and so they try and probably control their winemaking a little bit more. Know that the small winemakers are always the adventurous ones, and great results have come from that over the past, I think.
The most awarded winemaker in Australia, David Morris, led a team of 21 judges. And apparently rule number 1 is fuel up at breakfast. Even though they spit the wine out, judging on an empty stomach is a no-no. Judges mark wines out of 20. There's 3 points for appearance, 7 for aroma and 10 for taste and quality.
That whole process of the sniff is probably 5 or 6 seconds. The palate swirling is again 5 or 6 seconds. So all in all, looking, taste, spit out, and then waiting for a few seconds for that flavour or the flavours to go up through the canal at the back of the nose and assimilate through the rest of the mouth. You're probably talking 30 seconds overall, and you've got an assessment of how that wine fits in itself. Then the art is to compare that to another wine and see how it sits from a quality point of view.
On a judging panel there are 3 judges and 2 associates or learner judges. This year, given my taste for sparkling, I was asked to be an associate. Ian Henderson wanted to embed a journalist so they'd realise judging wasn't one long dinner party.
I think you're going to appreciate just how difficult a role it really is. I think I have 23 sparkling wines for you tomorrow, which sounds pretty easy, but your head will be spinning at the end of 23 wines. And not spinning from alcohol, but spinning from how daunting a task it really is.
And there were rules.
So no perfume tomorrow. Am I allowed to wear deodorant?
No, you are not.
Oh no. Okay. No lipstick, no deodorant, no perfume.
And there was something else I needed to know. How to spit. Apparently spitting is an art. Winemaker Warren Smith gave me some tips.
I'd advise you tomorrow to watch a few of the different judges because you'll see lots of different spitting techniques, and I don't profess to be all that good at it. I think the secret is to not have too much in your mouth at once. It's a lot easier to spit a little bit than it is to spit a lot. Have a good taste of it first though, that's the whole idea. Now lean over the bucket.
Okay, so I've got a bit of work to do on my spitting.
Yeah, there's a little bit of practice to go there.
It's getting better.
That's much better.
Feeling a bit of an imposter, I was included in the judges' photo and then let loose on 23 sparklings.
This morning we're doing Class 81, which is sparkling wine.
I love bubbles, but this was not easy. There's just a few seconds to smell and taste and then write down your impressions.
It's really hard, a lot harder than I thought, and I think I'm swallowing a bit more than I'm meant to, so it's overwhelming. My mouth is just full of alcohol. I'm finding it really hard to distinguish a lot of the flavours. Good at distinguishing the nose, but this is so much harder than I thought, and I thought it was going to be fun. It's really hard.
I picked the lower end and the middle, but embarrassingly, the one good enough to be awarded a gold medal eluded me. Luckily, associate scores don't count. The chief judge ticks off on the panel's choices.
I actually do like that.
In this class, gold went to Stanthorpe winemaker Robert Shannon's Singing Lake Sparkling.
Produced by a small producer on a product that's notoriously difficult to make and expensive to make and normally made and dominated by the big companies. He's a Queensland small producer making a national trophy wine. It's awesome.
I'm just glad I didn't have to judge the Shiraz class.
We've got 158 current vintage Shiraz to judge, which is nearly 10% of all of the wines being entered at the show, and that's actually up on last year.
You can see why at the end of the day, the judges head for a beer.
It's all about fixing up the pH in your mouth, so looking after our teeth, beer. Yeah, after a full day of judging, you just want something really refreshing. So, and then we do a whole night of wine tasting again, so we just need something different in there to refresh.
Consumers spend about 40 seconds choosing a wine in a bottle shop. The judges say the work they do allotting medals should help them choose well.
Those medals are fought for and earned. So a bronze medal means that the wine is a very good commercial wine. Silver means it's a next level up. Gold medal means it's in the top few percent and is an outstanding wine. So if you see that, it does mean that it's quality. However, you need to be assured that it's from an accredited wine show of repute and not the local netball committee got together one afternoon, put 50 wines together and thought, we'll have a little wine show and give out some stickers.
What did you think of the standard of the wines that you've tasted here over the last few days?
Very good. I've been here for a few years now, and this is, I think, the highest standard show that I've seen. Very high standard across Semillon in particular, and Shiraz. They were great classes, very strong, and a lot of good medals there.
I know from classes I've judged, 2010 Rieslings, absolutely fantastic. Reds, 2008s, absolutely fantastic. So it's doing really good. You do get some doozies in there, but there's a lot of great wines.
The big winner from the show was the Queensland wine industry, with a record haul of 92 medals, including 9 gold, mostly for reds.
It's fabulous for the industry. I think that reinforces that you can make good wine in Queensland, especially good red wine in particular.
Queensland wine has been trying to shake off the perception that it's all about Pinot Noir and tropical fruit wine.
very frustrating, very, very, very frustrating, because we know, as far as the granite belt goes, that we do make excellent wines, and we are fighting in amongst the rest of Australia and winning awards. So for people to say that they are rubbish, it does hurt. We are still trying to, you know, get that image away. It's going to take a while, but I think we're winning the battle.
If you'd asked me that question 10 or 15 years ago, I'd say still got a little way to go. But you ask the question now, and I think this region around Stanthorpe has come on in leaps and bounds. There are some absolute quality wines being produced here.
Pip, today's grand final day, so all of the best wines from each class are re-presented to the entire judging panel, and they're actually looking for the best red wine and best white wine of the entire show.
For Queensland winery Golden Grove Estate, the show was a huge success. It was named Champion Small Winery of the show. Its winemaker hopes the recognition will encourage more Queenslanders to try their own drop.
What we find, it's all about getting it in their mouth. Once they get it in their mouth and try it, they're like, wow, this is really good. I didn't expect this.